I found out my boyfriend's gay. I've recently discovered that my boyfriend of 7 years is gay. We've currently been in a long-distance relationship and I ended up finding out when I was visiting him for Christmas in 2022. One night he had left phone unlocked next to me and while I knew I shouldn't have looked I felt something was off so I took the first opportunity I had. I found a lot of intimate and explicit messages along with photos between him and other men. I also found other messages where he was talking to these men about me and I couldn't help but be hurt. My mind was racing and it was obvious that our entire relationship had been a lie since the very beginning. He never truly cared about me. After looking through the phone I somehow managed to keep it together and ended up making it through the entire trip mainly because I didn't want to cause a scene or ruin Christmas. I also didn't want to have to buy an expensive plane ticket during the holidays in order to get back home. I decided at the end of the trip that I needed to detach myself from him and the situation in order to focus on myself because I decided right after I'd seen those messages that our relationship was over. I didn't break up with him right away but we ended up going low contact and messages between us became less frequent after the holidays were over. Since returning home I've been doing surprisingly well and this year has been really good to me so far. I haven't cried at all about it. I've started exercising, getting out more, and even tried to go on a couple of dates. I haven't been intimate with any of the guys I've seen, I'm just trying to meet new people while also learning how to trust men again after everything that happened and I feel like I've met some nice guys along the way. My self-esteem really took a hit from this situation so it was an accomplishment to actually gather the courage to think of dating another guy or even meeting up with one. 2 months after Christmas I had called my ex-boyfriend early in the morning before he had to go into work and calmly told him that I knew about the man and the messages he'd been sending them about us. He was shocked and tried to deflect the situation by telling me that it had just been such a hard year for him and that's how he was able to excuse what he'd done. I wanted to know how long this was happening behind my back and I asked him when or if he was ever planning on telling me about this. I needed to know if he would have ended up telling me after I moved halfway across the country to be with him or after we'd gotten married. I calmly told him that I'd like some answers for the amount of my time and life he had wasted and that it hurt because I believed the two of us were able to talk about anything after everything we'd been through together. He told me that he felt like he couldn't talk to me anymore but I didn't care enough to empathize with him considering how silly he'd made me look for making me believe we were going to have a proper future together. Long story short we broke up and I'm now seeing him for what he's always been, which is selfish and heartless. Whenever I think back to the situation I can't help but feel stupid for actually believing that he was in love with me or that he was the love of my life. I never saw anything like this happening to me but life really threw a tough one my way and now I'm left trying to make the best of an awful situation.